Hi. I don't know where to begin with this. Basically, I wanted to start vlogging my process of what I'm doing so I can get a feel for what this project is, and I can look back on it and be like, okay, so this is where he was, this is where I was with my life. I don't know where to begin with it. I'm thinking maybe I should start from the beginning, which means, hello, I am not Mise right now, I'm Kevin. I am in my last year of university. Right now it's exam season, and I have a couple of assignments to do, but I'm not doing them because I don't want to. It all started when I was a young boy. It's always like this. You always say like, oh yeah, I always knew I loved art when I was little. I always knew that I liked music, and I didn't know where to go with it. I would always do performances, and I would sign up and I would do choir, and I would just do stuff with the school. And then I went to high school. Didn't really want to do anything first year, because your freshman year, you either jump right in or you don't do anything. I jumped into music in second year, grade 10. And that's when I started to, I really liked the feeling you'd get from being in a choir and just having this communal voice, everyone coming together, and it was amazing. Everyone would just sing these songs that were so spirited, and they were so fun. I started to just write my own songs, and I remember when I was younger, I would stay up some nights and I would listen to the radio, and I would have a notepad out, and I would listen to these hits that I wanted to replicate when I was older, and I would write out the lines of the track, and I would figure out, okay, so what makes this a popular song? What makes this a hit, and how could I replicate that? And I remember being 10 years old. I still have a notebook with some of that. It's still really cool that even back then I was trying to find out a way to express myself. And when I was in high school, I did some music classes, private vocal lessons and stuff, and I had we would do group classes because I couldn't afford the actual private stuff that was individual. So I would do it with a group of 5 people, and some of the kids would alternate, but some of the kids, we'd see each other every single week, and I have such fond memories looking back. It was so fun. We had a teacher, her name was Lucia, and I'd see her every single Friday with some of the regular kids, and we became friends, and I still have them on Facebook, and we talk, and I don't know, we always hit it off. We got to goof around, and I love environments where you can just laugh and have a good time, and people are so supporting and open and welcoming, because it's not fun feeling like you're being judged. Everyone knows that. So it's nice to be in an environment where you're safe, and she would put up with all of my shit, so it was good. It was I was at home there, and eventually I left because I had to grow up and pursue a business degree, which did not happen. When I was in grade 9, so this is the story, this is what I tell everybody. Basically, when I was in grade 9, I started on YouTube, and I would do singing cover videos, and I've always been awkward when it came to a camera. I try to cover up who I am from others when I'm on camera, because it's permanently, it's a permanent thing. It's there forever unless you take it down, and even then people can replicate it before you take it down. So I would post cover videos, but I would always have this anxiety before I would start posting, and I knew I wanted to post them because I did want to express myself musically, but I would always wait until my parents were out of the house, or I would do a couple of takes, and it would just be me staring at the camera while it's recording, how do I begin? And I feel a lot of people face that. So obviously when you have those nerves, you're not gonna perform the best you can. And even then, I was in grade 9, I was way over my head, and I was really chubby. It was bad. So yeah, I was really naive with it, and I still look back at it wow, you took a risk, and you took a chance, and I'm proud of you. The one thing that kind of scared me away from music, and what made me stop expressing myself musically outside of school, because I would still do choir and all that stuff, and I would still do music lessons and all that, but it was basically, there were people who would bully me about it. And I remember some of my family telling me, like, you know, don't do this, like, you know, stop making videos. And it was their way of protecting me because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. But I tend to overthink a lot. So in my overthinking, I basically drilled that on for 7 years, thinking that, you know, nobody wants to hear you, nobody wants to, like, you know, nobody wants to get to know what you can do artistically. So that's partially my bad. Sorry about it. Sorry, Kevin, it's all your fault. But yeah, I don't know, over the past 7 years after that happened, I would always talk to my close friends and I would drill it into them. And like, because we'd always, you know, when you have close talks with your friends, you get really deep and personal. And my deep and personal was always, I don't know, man, like, I want to do music. I want to eventually one day do that with my life. Because, and I'm a firm believer of, this is your one life. You need to, you know, do the things you want to do the things you love. So whenever I would have a deep, personal, close talk with my friends, it would always be the same thing. And it was like beating a dead horse, because at a point it's just like, why don't you just do it? And there was just always this anxiety with it, and I didn't know where to begin. And at some point, I guess, it drilled into me that I need to begin this. And I said, what better time to begin a new era of your life and doing the things that you want to do than when you're out of your teenage years, out of all the awkward stuff, and you're an adult. You're doing the things that you want to do because you can.